What is going on, everybody? I am the FD Guru, bringing to you guys an MLB opening day video for the main slate on Thursday, and I couldn't be any more excited for the season to get underway. The end of the regular season of the NBA really drags on, so excited for MLB to get going. As usual, I'm going to give you guys couple pitchers I'm looking at, some infield, some outfield value plays for FanDuel. I have a lot of promos going on. We'll get into that, including a 30 Guru credit code in this video for free. Just drop a like on this video, subscribe, and let's get after it. I hope you guys, tail along the MLB season with me. Again, I couldn't be any more excited. So we're going to look at some lines, some over-unders. On opening day, there's, aces galore, so there's not a ton of high over-unders, so bats can be a little stingy to pick from. We're not going to know the starting lineups since I'm doing this video a day before, but we can have a good idea on what's going on. I have a Guru Credit promo going on. I just tweeted it out. Valid from Wednesday till Friday night. All $40 and $100 purchases will get a 50% bonus on top. So take advantage of that. And then a couple other promos I'll get into. But without further ado, let's talk about pitchers. We have Paul Skeens, my, favorite for NL Cy Young, which is, not a hot take at all, but he's $11,000. Great matchup at Miami. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get up to these guys, Skeens, Wheeler, Sale, because like I said, bats are going to be tough to come by. So, I'm not going to say don't pick any of these guys. They all look great. Skeens in Miami, 6.5 over under. He's a favorite. Wheeler in Washington is a favorite. He's fine. Chris Sale in San Diego, probably the tougher of the three. But we're going to be going down a little bit. We're going to look at Garrett Crochet, new Red Sox signing. I'm a Sox fan, but I do keep my bias out of the way of, making lineups and such, because you cannot be profitable if you, are biased towards your home teams. But I do love Garrett Crochet at this price, $9,600, leading the spring with 30 strikeouts over all pitchers. I was looking at prop lines as well for pitchers. There's only two guys tomorrow or on Thursday that have a 7 strikeout prop line. That's Paul Skeens and it's Garrett Crochet. Crochet is a whole $1,400 cheaper than Skeens. So he looks like a much better value play in Texas. Very excited to see what this guy can do for Boston. I really like this play at 9,600. I think he's going to be my cash game guy. Looking at lines, we see a lot of 7s and 7.5s because, like I said earlier, there's a lot of aces on the mound. The Orioles and Blue Jays looks like the best offensive game of the slate. The only game at an 8.5 over-under. You have Zach Eflin against Jose Barrios. Two decent right-handers, but I'd like to think both of those guys are on the back half of their careers. Sox are slight favorites in Texas, -122, 7.5 over-under. You got the Yankees as one of the best teams to stack tomorrow against Freddie Peralta in the Bronx, -160. They might be the biggest favorite on the slate tomorrow. No, the Phillies with Wheeler, -172. But even a guy like Wheeler is only at 6 strikeouts for a prop, so we get Garrett Crochet as a full strikeout ahead of him. And like I said, a lot of 7s, 7.5s. I think the Angels are going to end up being a top team to stack, -153, 8 over-under. They're, a top 3 team for offensive scoring tomorrow. So I do like the Angels, but we'll get into that as we go. I like Crochet a lot. In terms of weather, I looked at the weather. I'll obviously double check it again on Thursday, close to the slate lock, but it looks like a couple of spots have some showers around, maybe a little bit of wind, but I didn't see anything that's slate altering in the weather report as of right now. But Crochet's my guy. For a cheap guy, I'm really debating on putting him on GPP. Like I said, I'm only going to have, as I've said, in the prior days, I'm only going to have 2 lineups per site, a hybrid and a GPP. So when I say cash, I mean hybrid because you play cash games with the hybrid lineup. Crochet looks like that guy. For GPP, Yusei Kikuchi looks really good to me at 8,400. He has a great matchup against the White Sox. The Angels are one of the bigger favorites tomorrow, as I was looking at just a second ago, minus 153. He looks good. He's projected for, I think his prop line for strikeouts is either 6 or 6.5. And at 8,400, he looks like the best cheap option available on FanDuel. Was on the Blue Jays to start the year last year, got traded to the Astros. Kind of struggled here and there, and then towards the end of the season, he really got hot. If you look at his game log at the end of August going into September, this guy was just straight nails. 12 strikeouts, 6, 9, 8. This guy has double-digit strikeout potential, and he probably has the best matchup tomorrow over any other pitcher. Skeens against the Marlins is pretty good, but I'd like to think the White Sox are probably going to be the worst team in the MLB this year. So Kikuchi looks really good at 8,400. And then on a website like DraftKings, I haven't quite looked at those salaries yet, but when you pick two pitchers on DraftKings, Kikuchi's going to find his way into those lineups because he just looks like by far the best cheap option. The Angels are so heavily favored because we're looking at a start for Sean Burke, who I'm not sure who that was. It looks like he's a young guy. He started for them last year towards the end, but obviously a very inexperienced pitcher. We're going to have an Angels hitter in this video, but as of right now, my favorite spend up on FanDuel is Garrett Crochet. My favorite spend down is Yusei Kikuchi for the Angels, his new team. For the two infield plays, catcher / first base, I had said not too long ago the Orioles and Blue Jays look like the best, if not one of the best teams to target tomorrow, or games to target tomorrow, and a good value play, depending on where he is in the lineup. If he's batting fourth or fifth, I'm going to be looking at him. That's Ryan O'Hearn. He draws a lefty-righty matchup against Jose Barrios. I've already said a couple times in this video, a lot of aces on the mound tomorrow. Not a ton of, really comfortable value that we can feel good about for the cheap hitters. I do feel good about a $2,600 Ryan O'Hearn if he's batting fourth or fifth. Had a great year for them last year. Kind of a revival of his career. He was kind of struggling on the Royals for a while. Went over the Orioles last year. Doesn't really hit against left-handed pitchers, so he doesn't play every day. 265, 15 homers, and just about 60 RBIs. Looks good to me. He pops as one of the best value plays in the infield at only $2,600. Then for third base, we're taking a righty-lefty matchup into account with Alec Bohm. Phillies look great tomorrow, big favorites with Zach Wheeler, and they're against Mackenzie Gore, who has shown he can get blown up here and there. I'm not sure how he finished last year, but I do remember him going through some struggles. He's the second cheapest pitcher on the slate tomorrow, so that tells you something. Had a almost 4 ERA. Again, he's a high risk, high reward type pitcher. I'm probably going to be picking him in certain spots this year, but it's not going to be against the Phillies. I do like Alec Bohm at only $3,000. He should be batting third or fourth, somewhere in the heart of this lineup with that righty-lefty matchup. So I'm just trying to claw away at some cheap batters because it's tough. And then obviously when we get starting lineups, it's going to, we don't always know who's hitting where. So, cheap guys can pop up anywhere in a starting lineup. But as of right now, looking at this before we get the lineups, these are a couple of cheap guys that I'm liking in this spot for Thursday. For my Guru credit code, we're going to get 30 credits. Go to my shop page. Again, I do have MLB early bird deals still going on up until first pitch on Thursday, so take advantage of that. Whether you want season-long FanDuel or DraftKings, message me. You can get a nice discount on that. Go to the shop page. It's where you buy all your usual credits. Again, I have that promo. If you buy the $40 or $100, you get 50%. There's a coupon bar here. Type in all caps, opening day 25 for the year. All caps, opening day 25, and you will get 30 free Guru credits. Just give this video a like, subscribe, and comment below if you're excited, if you're as excited for this season as I am. MLB DFS is a fun time. We had a really good year last year. And then FanDuel, I'm pretty sure DraftKings is doing the same thing. They stopped the main slate at 4 o'clock Eastern. There's still 3 games on Thursday after 4 o'clock. We see Tigers, Dodgers, 7 o'clock Eastern, and then Cubs, Diamondbacks, Athletics, Mariners. That'll be an after-hour slate, and that's a good segue into my Dub Club promo. For the opening day promo, we have a free week, and it's valid until Sunday. So you guys have like 4 or 5 days to take advantage of this. This is where I post all my non-main slate lineups. So like the 3-game after-hour slate on MLB tomorrow, you will get that on Dub Club. Go to my Dub Club. I'll put the link below this video. You can click on that directly, or just go on Dub Club and enter the code manually, which is opening day. And then when you hit apply, you'll see it goes down to $0. So take advantage of that. NBA, I'm not going to be as active towards the end of the regular season, but you'll get all non-main slates of any content that I do. It's not just MLB. So take advantage of that. A lot of extra content over on Dub Club. For the outfield, I'm spending up on Mike Trout. He's my favorite spend up tomorrow. As I said, the Angels are one of the best spots to target tomorrow. Minus 150, what was it? 153, 8 over under. Looking really good against that young White Sox pitcher. Mike Trout loves the crush at the beginning of the season. The problem is he doesn't stay healthy. If you remember last year, I think he had like 8 home runs in the first month of the year. And then he got hurt. So as long as Mike Trout's fully healthy, I'm going to be giving him a go. He's sub 4K in a great spot tomorrow. I already put in my Discord his prop line over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Looks really good tomorrow, assuming he's going to get at least 4, maybe 5 at bats as the 2 or 3 hitter. So I really like Mike Trout tomorrow at 3,800. I think he could easily be the highest scoring hitter on the slate. He's going to most likely be in all of my stuff, since the Angels look like one of the top teams to stack on Thursday. And then my last play here, going back to the Orioles as value. Again, we got to look at the starting lineup on Thursday, but Colton Cowser's been crushing in spring training. He's right now projected to bat leadoff for the Orioles. Lefty-righty matchup against Jose Barrios, only 2,700. Will have a really good chance at getting 5 at-bats if he's batting leadoff. As you can see here, Cowser has impressed this spring, batting .364. And he's still a young guy, so they're very high on Colton Cowser. He could be an absolute stud. Orioles, one of the best teams to stack on Thursday, so I do feel really good about Colton Cowser being a value play at 2,700, especially if he's leading off. Now, if he's batting, I would say anywhere in the top 5, I'm going to be looking at him. Obviously, leading off would be the best case scenario for Colton Cowser. A nice little mini stack with him and Ryan O'Hearn at sub 3K. That'll do it for this video, guys. Again, I'm so excited for this season to start. Give this video a like, subscribe. Let's get after it for the 2025 season. Until next time, I am the FD Guru. Peace.